So good morning, dear student. I think we have already started semester 6 syllabus yesterday only, and we have seen that there are 5 units. Out of those 5 units, 3 units are 100% dedicated to GST only. The remaining part of GST, which we have learned last time, now we have to learn further aspects. Till section 30 of CGST Act we have learned, and there onwards till section 60 we will be having in this uh, part 2 of GST. We started with section 49. I have very clearly stated your unit 1 consists section 49, 50, 51, 52, 53 and 54. That is the basic curriculum of your syllabus, which cover these many sections of CGST Act 2017. Without wasting much of time, because I know you are going to take and keep the notes also. Six, here we are. Okay. So we had this discussion. Today, let us start. Okay, kindly take down the notes. What all we have in unit 1. See, 2018 notes we are referring in 2021. The things is remain same. We are thankful to our senior students, our alumni, who has made so effective notes, which could be useful for all of us. Okay, so kindly read, take down. This is purely your unit 1, which talks about computation, payment, interest. Okay, TDS, TCS, refund, and so on, so forth. So this all has been discussed in different section of CGST Act. Section 49, payment of tax, 50, interest, 51, TDS, 52, TCS, 53, return, and 54, refund. Am I clear to you all? Is this things are clear to you all? And then we have the final deliberation in detail discussion of section 49. I have even given you last time also. Actually, if you go to the material, this has been discussed in detail in description. But how we need to learn? We need to learn in tabular form, which we had a practice even in last semester. And honestly speaking, this has no meaning if there is MCQs. Yes or no? So this entire thing has been, which has been explained in 3 pages or 4 pages, we have in one table. Okay. So actually speaking, it is there in 2 slides. If you want, you can make it in 1 page, but you have to take both the pages. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll tell you how many subsection we have. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 subsection of section 49. So first you take down the notes. Just let me know, sir, it is done, and then we will proceed to its explanatory part. Okay. Chalo, start. I'm making it full screen. Visibility will be much better. I hope you are able to see. Just let me know once it is done. Thank you, dear student. Many of you have already completed. So now I'm reducing the size of PPT. Now let us have a discussion and deliberation of section 49 and each and every subsection of it. Okay. Section 49, subsection 1 is stating that whatever the payment, whether it is interest or anything is pending, could be done through credit card, debit card, RTGS, cash, but there is a limit of cash. You cannot make the payment of tax more than GST through cash, not more than 10,000 rupees. That is only the restriction. Otherwise, you can make the payment. So it is basically how the payment, see, that is why it is here, it is very clearly mentioned. Less than equal to 10K. 10K म्हणजे 10,000 rupees, which is explained here in the explanation in the material which is available to us. Every deposit made towards tax, interest, penalty, that is section 49 subsection 1, by a person, by internet banking, credit card, debit card, national NEFT, RTGS, okay, shall be credited to electronic cash ledger. So section 49 subsection 1 talks about cash ledger. How it works, how we will going to see effectively. So this entire thing I have described in 4 lines, 4-5 pointers of section 49 subsection 1. Section 49 subsection 2 talks about electronic credit ledger. So it is electronic cash ledger. This is electronic credit ledger. Credit ledger means, I hope you must be knowing, this is talks about ITC. How many ITC we have in our account, how much has been used, how much is still to be used. So honestly speaking, entire section 16 to 21 wala knowledge is very much required, as well as there are section 41 which talks about how to have the utility of electronic credit ledger for different payments in terms of GST. Okay. Then we have section 49 subsection 3. So amount of cash ledger can be used only for payment. So whatever the output tax liability we will have, whatever the amount of output tax liability we will have, that could be paid through cash ledger. Okay. Then we have with us section 49 subsection 4, which talks about electronic credit ledger only used for output tax credit. So you have seen very clearly even in last semester that to avail the benefit of ITC, input tax credit, we should have output tax liability. Agreed or not? Can you able to recollect? You know, I have given you example also. Many a times we gain the ITC, we have the input tax credit, but we cannot utilize. Okay, because we do not have output tax liability with us. Because we are not the seller. Once we will sell the goods, then only we can avail. I can again give you the illustration, an example that when we book the ticket from IRCTC, that time also they ask for GSTN number. If we put the GSTN number, that much ITC will be there in your account. But same thing if it is utilized by company or someone who is sending their goods and they avail the benefit of ITC, then they can, whenever there will be output tax liability, they can set off those ITC. They can get the benefit. Understood? So to have the benefit of input tax credit, you should have in front of that output tax liability. Things are clear? That is explained under section 49 subsection 4. Okay, so this 4 subsection is clear to you all. Section 49 subsection 1 talks about how we can make the payment through internet banking in electronic cash ledger. If you want, you can write in your notebook. I am finding there are few students who is writing. Rushik is one amongst them. Okay, Nipun is another. Dinah is there who is writing, and Ishika is writing. I don't know about others. Okay, and I am not finding that they are really writing or not. These are even Rostin. I found they are. He is also writing. Okay, so this section 49 subsection 1 talks about how we can gather the funds in cash ledger through internet banking, through credit card, through NEFT, through RTGS or cash. But cash, there is a limit. I cannot deposit over and above 10,000. Okay. So for little payment, if it is pending, you can use the cash. Otherwise, it is only electronic payment. Second, they talk about ITC. Whatever the ITC we gain, that benefit could be availed against ITC, but it will be available in your another ledger, which is known as electronic credit ledger. So these 3 ledgers you have to now by heart. Okay, electronic credit ledger, electronic cash ledger, and electronic liability ledger. Cash ledger, liability ledger, and credit ledger. All I am going to discuss with the rules in days to come in subsequent lecture. We have to go slowly and steadily because these are the application part. So if you are doing audit, if you are working as a practicing chartered accountant, these things is going to help you. Am I clear? Similarly, the cash ledger is used, whatever the cash you have, for payment of tax. So whatever the output tax liability we have, that could be paid against cash ledger. Okay. Credit ledger again could be used for payment of output tax liability. So to avail the benefit of input tax credit, you should always have output tax liability. Until unless you can create output tax liability, you cannot use input tax credit. So I hope section 49 subsection 1 to section 49 subsection 4 is clear to you all. I got the answer from Bhagyashree, Pranjal, Anjali Singh. What about others? Vidisha also. Meghna, Harsh, Nehal. Thank you. Now let us go to next. Here now we have section 49 subsection 5. Pattern of usage of ITC. This is purely which we have learned in section 5. Semester 5. Section 16, 17, 18, 19. These notes must be there with you all. Yes or no? These notes must be there with you all. Please refer that. If there is 0 rated goods has been supplied to be used or not. If the goods are exempted, whether ITC will be utilized or not. If you are importing and exporting, whereby ITC will be utilized or not. Every detail is given there. As well as you can also refer section 53. Okay. Next we have section 49 subsection 6. Next we have section 49 subsection 6, which talks about balance of electronic cash ledger after payment of tax, interest, penalties, fees may be refunded. May be refunded as per section 54. So you have section 54 which talks about refund. Just now we have seen. Yes or no? Here we have seen section 15(4), that is basically covers under section 49 subsection 6 also. Section 49 subsection 6 also. After payment, if it is available, you can utilize it for refund. Okay. Next, all liability of SSC will be recorded in electronic liability ledger. So just now you have seen in section 49 subsection 3, in section 49 subsection 4 regarding cash ledger, regarding credit ledger. Here now they are talking about liability ledger. Liability ledger means which describes, which is going to give you what you feel being a taxable person. Okay, यहाँ पे SSC we can't use. For a taxable person in GST, what do you feel could be there as a liability? What all do you feel will be a liability for them? You can unmute and you can tell, no problem. What do you feel will be a liability? Rather, we can ask what all do you feel will be taken as a liability? Be quick, we don't have much time. What taxes? What taxes? So the liability will be CGST, the liability will be SGST, the liability will be UTGST, the liability can be IGST. Agreed or not? Apart from that, there could be liabilities like interest, there could be liability like penalty, there could be liability like fees. Agreed or not? So this all you are going to find in liability ledger. Okay, I will explain it to you. See, if you see this, you will understand. See, these are these three ledgers. We will write in next lecture. Don't write now. This is actual picture of your three ledgers. Are you finding? This is your liability ledger. Okay. It is as per rule 85. Don't write today. We don't have time today. This is your credit ledger. And this is your, I hope ledger you know, debit side and credit side. Okay. I have explained it to make the student understand, but actually speaking, this is not like this. You do you know? Are you able to recollect your cash book, bank ledger, passbook ledger, or passbook statement, bank statement? Are you able to recollect? So actually speaking, when you go to the bank, there is a particular column. There is one column. There you will not find debit and credit. And there is a balance column. Yes or no? So similarly, here also, when I will show you actual different ledgers I have for you, don't worry, which is there actually on the website, you will find there is debit credit. Yes. Correct? This I have taken from GST website. So there won't be any debit credit kind of funda over here. But to make you understand why, because the nomenclature is given in Act as ledger. So you understand what is debit and what is credit. Okay. Further deliberation I will take on this aspect in subsequent lecture when you will write this. Now let us finish this. Then section 49 subsection 8 talks about, there will be a question, how to make the payment, discharge of tax. So first we'll take the previous year tax, then we paid the current year tax, and finally we'll pay the tax on due like penalty, fees, etc. Finally, section 49 subsection 9, which talks about every person who has paid the tax anytime deemed to be there in possession of full incident of such tax to the recipient of such goods and services. Okay, so whosoever has paid the tax, they can deem to be owner of that particular goods, right, on behalf of recipient of such goods and services. So whosoever is going to receive, they can avail the benefit of tax which has been paid by them. I hope section 49, all subsections are clear. If you want further clarification, go and read all this material.